I know you know what your legal rights are, okay? So I'm not going to ask you to leave. However, your activities, although not illegal, are suspicious. So by law, I need to have your identification to identify you and just advise you that the owners of that property do not wish you on their property, okay?
GIS survey, I haven't been on the property.
Okay, well, like I said, I'm not over here for anything for trespass, okay? But you do realize that you have to comply with.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you? I know you know what your legal rights are. By law, I need to have your identification. Are you planning on robbing this place? In this dramatic 30-second clip filmed at a bank in Long Island, a First Amendment auditor refuses to show ID while the officer insists he must identify the auditor due to suspicious activity. What happens next? Does the officer have the legal right to demand identification in this situation? Or is the auditor fully protected under the First and Fourth Amendments? Tune in to find out. Thanks to the original channel for the raw footage. Don't forget to follow our channel, Mr. Right ID Refusal, for more breakdown.
Welcome to Mr. Right, the place where real encounters between law enforcement and the people unfold before your eyes.
Wait.
We have, I think, Sherrill PD and New York State Troopers. Okay, New York State Troopers is not concerned. We're moving on.
Deputy Sheriff said to me, tell me what you come here for, boy. You better get your bags and flee. You're in trouble, boy, and now you're headed into more. It's the same old story, yeah. Everywhere I go, I get slandered. Liable.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you? I know you know what your legal rights are, okay?
There's a crosswalk right there.
I know you know what your legal rights are, okay? So I'm not going to ask you to leave. However, your activities, although not illegal, are suspicious. So by law, I need to have your identification to identify you and just advise you that the owners of that property do not wish you on their property, okay?
GIS survey, I haven't been on the property.
Okay, well, like I said, I'm not over here for anything for trespass, okay? But you do realize that you have to comply with me asking for identification.
Incorrect.
The officer approaches the auditor calmly, but quickly escalates by labeling his public recording as suspicious activity. Despite admitting the act is not illegal, the officer insists that by law he needs identification. This is a misapplication of Terry v. Ohio, which allows brief detentions only with reasonable, articulable suspicion of a specific crime. Filming in public is protected under the First Amendment, and absent criminal suspicion, demanding ID violates the Fourth Amendment, which guards against unreasonable searches and seizures. The auditor stands firm, stating he hasn't stepped on private property, supported by GIS survey right. The officer's claim that the law requires compliance to ID is legally incorrect unless the encounter is a detention under a valid stop and ID statute, which New York does not mandate unless there's suspicion of a crime. The officer initiates an unlawful escalation. The correct response is to calmly assert rights and never lie or resist physically.
Sir, can I have your identification?
No, thank you.
I have to know who you are.
You don't have to know who I am.
Well, I do.
If you have a reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime...
Do you have a reasonable, articulate reason why are you planning on robbing this place?
I am not.
How do I know that? I think you are.
You don't? Well, okay.
I think you are. So,
What evidence do you have that I might be doing what you suggest?
I don't know. Are you a freelance movie maker?
I don't wish to answer any more questions. Fifth and Sixth Amendment. I don't wish to identify Fourth Amendment.
Okay, well, the Fourth
And I'm going
Amendment,
to stand here and record First
fine.
Amendment.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. So you're failing to comply with a lawful request for identification.
Well, to clarify, I'm failing to honor a request for an unlawful order to identify.
Can you give me a suitable reason as to why you're filming this place, that it shouldn't feel like you're casing the place
First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States does not require me to have a reason.
You're planning on robbing the place is what I'm hearing.
You're hearing it all wrong.
No, because you're not cooperating. If you have nothing to hide, all I'm asking for is identification, and then I'll be on my way.
Fourth Amendment says no.
Oh, you sure about that?
Positive.
You sure about that?
100% positive.
All right. I will tell you this. We will speak again. All right. And I know what you're at.
Okay.
You're looking for a lawsuit. You're not going to get one out of us.
No, I've been doing it for 3 years. I've never sued anybody.
I saw you down in front of Americu. I saw you in front of Americu.
Americu.
So maybe you'll come up with a better hobby down the road. But for now, that's fine. You want to harass people, that's good.
I have to ask, what is Americu?
Oh, you know what Americu is? It's the bank that you were filming a couple weeks ago in Oneida.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I don't have to identify, but I'll tell you right now, I'm from Northern Virginia.
Okay.
And I've only been up here a couple days.
Okay.
Americu,
I realize that you're here to do something, because I have a body camera as well as you do.
Yep.
Mine's on just as well as yours is.
Exxon. Not familiar with that company. Is that a good company?
It's a very good company.
Cool.
Okay. So I realize that you didn't come here from Virginia just to visit and take in the sights like gun shops and banks and stuff like that. So,
There are reasons other than videoing that I'm here, but I figured while I'm here, I might as well continue my hobby. I don't know what Americu is, and I wasn't here 2 weeks ago.
no, it was more than 2 weeks ago. It was closer to 3 weeks ago. But
No.
anyways,
Last time I was here was April 4th, and y'all came and told them that what I was doing was perfectly fine.
No, it is.
Wasn't you specifically or you, but it was Cheryl
No,
PD.
no. Like I said, what you're doing isn't illegal, but it's
Correct.
very strange. And if that place is to be robbed, we'll say, for
Yeah.
example, by tonight, we'll be looking for you because you're over here.
If that place is robbed in the next, I don't know how long, keep that video and run facial recognition on me.
Okay, well, that's good. It's good. Now, whatever you do, though, do not step foot on their property. I know you know
I-
you're legally
yeah, I know that.
where you can go and where you can't.
GIS survey, I got this sidewalk, I'm fine here, and I don't know how many feet, but I won't risk it. The shoulder
Well, I
in
hope
front
you
of.
accomplished what you were looking to do, so we'll see you later.
Have a great day.
Yeah.
This ID refusal encounter highlights a constitutional clash between law enforcement authority and civilian rights. The auditor, though unnamed, demonstrated restraint, legal knowledge, and clarity, earning a solid A. The officer, lacking reasonable articulable suspicion and misquoting legal authority, deserves a C for escalating without cause and implying surveillance threat. Key legal references include the First Amendment, right to record in public, Fourth Amendment, protection against unreasonable ID demands, Fifth and Sixth Amendments, right to silence and legal counsel, and Terry v. Ohio, reasonable suspicion standard. Lawful action in such ID refusal situations includes staying on public property, calmly asserting rights, and never physically resisting. Laws mentioned in this ID refusal case: Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment, Terry v. Ohio, Hiibel v. 6th Judicial District Court. For more breakdowns like this, follow Mr. Right de-refusal and support the original source by subscribing to the Audit channel that captured this powerful moment.